Yeah, I'm seeing if like back here would be cool so that nobody can see it. And then I'll probably set this thing loud enough so I can hear it. I just don't want you guys to be distracted by any laptop or anything like that. Yeah, so how's everybody doing today? Sleepy?
Yeah, I started early this morning. I'm trying to like get back into working out early in the morning. It's very
They give you the pleasure to instruct yoga from my house in the morning. And it's fun and nice. But then also, like, I'm in my bed, and sometimes it'll be like evening before, and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. They shouldn't have treated me like that. Alright, let me go ahead and play some soft music. Hopefully, YouTube don't cancel us out. We're trying to have some fun. So how's everybody's bodies feeling today?
they're great.
Need some attention? Like in a way, like is it in pain? Is it just tight?
Yeah, it's just kind of like from my ankle all the way up to like my lower back on my right side. It's just very tight. It's not like painful. It's just like everything's.
Did you have an injury in your hip or?
My right hand is like my knee hip. I don't know.
Okay. We could probably do some low lunge and like over lunge like we did in last class to kind of gently work with that, some half splits. So we got back, we got some hips, and like hamstring, anything else, and then we wanted some twists. Oh, we want everything today. So this is gonna be a fun. I'm just calculating it all, and I think I know where to go from here. Cool. So, that being said, I actually want to start off in a square pose. We did that in the class before, and so I feel that would be a nice little way to open up that hip. So, I personally, when I do square pose, I like to have a blanket, which if you don't have a blanket, you're more than welcome to grab one, especially for slow flow classes. We may be on our knees for some poses, so it's a nice comfort. Yeah. So, in the square pose, I like to lay the blanket outward, and I kind of like to sandwich myself into it. And so with that, I like to, we're going to start with the left leg on the bottom, right leg on top. And then take the blanket, it's going to be underneath the left leg, fold it or sandwich it over. And then taking the right ankle on top of the left knee, right knee on top of the left ankle, and that way your joints are pressing into one another, they're not digging into our skin. Good. And so we're going to have a bit of space in between our shin and our pelvic region, so if we are kind of closed off or our heels are going in, we can just square our hips back so that we are aligned front, and it's supposed to look like a square, but we can call it like a rhombus or like, yeah, just any weird shape here. And then you can just take your hands onto your knees, rotate your shoulders back, and lift up your navel and chest up 2 inches, and close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. So we can utilize the Ujjayi breath into our practice like we worked with earlier this week with our core. Where we take that deep inhale in through the nose, and then exhale through the throat. Keeping that core engaged as we breathe. Even more with the diaphragm, getting nice and straight through spine. Allow yourself to set an intention for your practice. Knowing anything that is not serving you at this moment, we don't have to necessarily let it go or let it dissipate, but maybe we can invite it into our practice. Give us a bit of a nudge or a bit of an influence to work through whatever it is that isn't currently serving us. Sometimes we're so readily available to throw out whatever that baggage is, whatever that negative energy that is surfacing as you keep it in your mind and keep it in thought. It's also a good thing to take some time to sit with it and to kind of build a relationship with whatever that negative energy has to offer, because with negative energy comes positive energy. And we can always turn anything negative into positive. You can take your arms up to the sides, palms face up. You're going to take 3 sun breaths. Inhale, rise, arms towards the ceiling. And then as we exhale, release, hands to the ground. We're going to do 3 times. Allow yourself to move from the chest outward towards your fingertips. So inhale, nice and strong from your chest, shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, fingertips, ceiling. Exhale, release, using that same effort for that total of 3. Maybe inviting that Ujjayi breath still to keep us nice and strong and stable into our sitting position. Then after you're done your 3 sun breaths, please keep your right arm towards the ceiling, left hand either to a block or onto the mat. We're going to inhale, start to lift up through the chest and curve over towards the left side here. Good, so getting this good energy into the right serratus, the muscles alongside the right rib cage. Rooting through the right knee. Sending that energy all the way down to your lower sides here. Maybe you can take your forearm to the neck. That's comfortable for you, or at least near. And the next breath, very slowly rise, arms towards the ceiling. And then exhale, sun breath. Release. Good. You go ahead and just kind of release the knees here if you want to do a little side to side with shield wide. We did like spine or straight, but it feels good to reset that. And then we're just going to take it to the opposite side. Yeah. And so I believe our right leg was on top. So if you go ahead and place our right leg at the bottom, blanket over if you would like, and then the left foot on top of the knee this time. And then you're probably going to notice that there might be a difference in your hip. This hip might be tighter, it might be more flexible, and that's totally okay. If you really feel like your hip or your leg is hovering quite a bit, you can fold into a block if it's going to fit in that space for you. Otherwise, you can find the straight sitting position again. And if you want to, you can bring your chin to chest if you wanted to stretch out through your neck. As you keep the spine straight, you are more than welcome to do that. You can even Maybe a pendulum swing your nose side to side. Wanted to start the class with some stillness into the first sitting pose. So if you are itching for some movement, this is a great time to find that for you now. You can even bring it up towards the ceiling as well if you would like. And I've got 3 more breaths here. My favorite is the chin to chest. I feel like that feels very good for the laying neck. And then working with the 3 sun breaths, hands inside, inhale, rise, arms towards the ceiling. And exhale, release. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale, rise. Keeping the left arm risen, lower the right arm, and inhale, side bend over towards the right side of the room. Again, you can either keep the arm straight, slightly bend it. If you feel like you can bring that forearm all the way to the mat, or you can place a block underneath. More than welcome to do so. I gaze up towards the thumb here. Actively lowering the knee. 3 breaths. Use it very gently. Inhale, rise, arms towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release. You can go ahead and release the legs and just do a little windshield wipe, knees, knees back, legs straight, whatever feels the best for you to organically move out of that position. And we're gonna keep the left leg extended here. We're going to bring the right knee in towards your chest. You're more than welcome to keep the foot onto the inside of the thigh, or if you want to go deeper into the hips, you can navigate the foot onto the outside. And you can plug the knee up towards the chest, hips are down. Straight spine again here. Taking a few breaths to get into the side of the right hip here. Top of the IT band, getting a little bit of that hip inner rotation. And after a couple breaths, we slowly rise, arms towards the ceiling. And then we can twist your body over towards the right side, hinge that left elbow onto the outside of the right thigh. Lift up through the chest, hands behind the back. So you take your eye gaze over the right shoulder. If you feel like you are toppling towards your hand, as if your hand is like too short to touch the ground, if that's what it feels like, you're more than welcome to place a block underneath the hand here with some leverage. And then as we are hinged here, or twisted, I should say, we can keep our twist, but slowly take our eye gaze over the left shoulder. And then we can slowly just unravel the top body and either come into a figure 4 with a block underneath your knee, or you can cross the knee over the bottom. It's your choice here. And if you have your strap nearby, you can grab the strap too and place it around the left ankle. Reach your grip onto your shin and assist yourself forward, whatever feels best for you. We're just going to come into a hip hinge. So you can find that straight spine and then exhale, back in. And it's totally okay if we find some rounding in the spine today. Thursdays, we're not meant to be perfect. No yoga class is meant to be perfect, but especially right before the weekend. Nice. So we're just going to stay here for a total of 5 reps. You'll notice after each exhale, you might come a little closer to the thigh, and that's great. Now you can very slowly rise into the 5 breaths. Straighten out both legs. But strap into both the heels, up through the chest, into a supported staff pose. So instead of pressing your hands into the mat, we're just going to rotate the shoulders back, chest up, have the strap nice and straight. Good. So now supporting us to the low spine. Take about 3 more breaths. On the next breath, deep inhale, rise up 2 inches from the navel. Exhale, hip hinge, forward fold. But bring in the hands closer to the straps here, closer to the ankles. If you grab your ankles, great. If you can't, that's okay too. And if you can't grab your ankles and you want to go even deeper into the hip hinge, you're more than welcome to challenge yourself by bringing a block to the outside of your feet. Good, and plugging the block into your ankles at the same time, pressing the ankles into the block, leaning your chest forward. There's so many possibilities in these Paschimottanasana. Two more breaths. You slowly release. And as you release, we can bend the left knee in towards our chest. Good. Again, either the foot the inside of the thigh or you can navigate to the outside. It's your choice. Just for a few breaths, we're going to assist that knee and hug it in towards your chest, keeping that tall spine. Feeling a sensation, hopefully, into the outside of your left hip. Maybe even a little bit underneath your thigh. But back to the keeping that straight chest, straight spine, up towards the ceiling. And then once you're ready, you can take your arms up towards the ceiling. You can start to twist, hinging the right elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Taking the left hand behind, straight spine twist. And gaze over the left shoulder to start. You can take your eye gaze over the right shoulder for a little extra here. And then you can slowly release. Keep your torso to the center. Face up, and your choice of either complete figure 4 or bringing the knee on top of the bottom knee. Ground the strap. Straight chest, up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, hip hinge forward fold. Either grabbing onto the strap or onto the ankle. Whatever feels the best for you here. Five breaths. You can slowly release, coming into that straight spine. Bringing the left leg back to meet the right, grabbing onto the stretch, both ankles. And with the legs straight this time, let's keep the strap, keep left hand onto the strap, straight spine. And inhale, open up the right arm towards the back of the room. Good, keep that chest lifted. One more breath. Inhale, rise right arm towards the ceiling, to the front, over to the left. And now open up your left arm to the left side. Twist. Final breath. Inhale, rise up arm towards the ceiling, towards the center. Exhale, the hinge, Pashanottanasana forward. It's either strap feet or block, whatever feels the best for you here today. Wonderful. Just slowly release back into the staff pose. Yeah, let's place the straps and the blocks. Prepare them onto the top of the mat. So right off the top. Because we will need them later. Straps can just go to the side for now. And then you can go ahead and find yourself in a tabletop position here. And then in your tabletop position, go ahead and do a few cat cows. Don't count them, just organically inhale through your cow, exhale to your cat. Find any movement that serves you at this moment. And you can spice it up if you want to as well. Meaning if you wanted to go a little more side to side, bringing your shoulders and hips to meet. Or if you wanted to bring your knees together and kind of rotate your hips forward, or kind of turn it like butter. Or if y'all are SpongeBob fans, where he brings it around town. Just really, we're just trying to find any organic movement into the spine and into the hips to kind of reset ourselves from those set of asanas that we just did. Let's create a little back bend for the spine as well as some shoulder openings. This is great for the lower spine. Coming into that extended puppy pose, keeping the hips up, knees above underneath the hips. Let's bring our arms forward and guide our chest into the mat. So you can very gently press your palms into the mat to help guide your chest towards the ground, stomach towards the thighs. Take your final breath. And very slowly come onto the forearms, spread your knees apart, big toes to touch. And as we start to straighten out through the arms, we're going to rise the right arm towards the ceiling. And exhale, thread the needle, placing the shoulder and the head to the ground. Hips are up. And then lift the left arm. You're more than welcome to either place it towards the top of the mat. You're more than welcome to keep it towards the top of the mat and slowly turn your torso forward as well, untwisting and making this more about your right arm. Or you can stay in that spinal twist and maybe navigate the left arm behind your spine as if you're trying to grab onto the right side. Open up to the chest. It's definitely your choice on how you would like to enjoy this asana today. You can start to very slowly return the left hand, unwind, bringing the right hand beneath the left. Inhale, rise, left arm towards the ceiling, and then exhale, threading the needle. We still have those variations of where you like to put your right arm. Again, either towards the top of the mat. You keep it towards the top while turning your torso straight, making it more about your left arm. Or you can also bring the right hand behind your spine as if you're trying to grab onto the left side. Turn the right hand back by your face and very gently come back onto your hands and knees. And from here, you're just going to slide the knees out a little further, having our heels align with the knees here coming into frog pose. And so if it's more comfortable, you can go onto the long side of your mat so that your knees or ankles are onto the mat instead. And it's okay if your ankles aren't directly aligned with the knees and you have to have them in a little more. With your toes sticking up, that's totally okay here. And we're going to start with the straight hands. Good. And then we're just going to go through a little bit of pelvic movement just so that we can build some more flexibility and strength into the hips. So you're just very gently going to shift your body forward where your shoulders are going to be above your wrists. And then exhale, slowly bring the hips back. Pressing the feet into the ground to help keep you stable. Maybe a little bit of glute engagement. To keep your hips stable as well. Inhale forward and then exhale, bringing the hips back. It's very small, dropping forward and back. And do this 3 more times. After the 3rd time, you bring your hips towards the back of the room, forearms onto the ground. Good. Keep your body nice and straight here. Using again your feet into the mat to help keep your hips supported. You can even put your forearms up blocks if that feels better. Maybe show your fists together. And if you wanted to take your arms out a little further to get a little deeper into the hips, you can do so. If you start to feel any pinching or feeling extreme tightness, then you go a little too far into your hips. 5 breaths. After the 5 breaths, you can rise up to the hips, bring your knees together, and slowly come into a child's pose. Getting great stretch into the spine, so walk your fingertips towards the front of the mat, and then root your hands into the mat where you will feel a great stretch from your shoulders here. Good. And then as soon as you feel that great stretch come from the shoulders, as you glue your hands to the mat, isometrically pull yourself forward. What that means is your body is staying into place, but energetically inside. You're trying to navigate your chest towards your fingertips here. Making yourself feel longer into your spine. And then we're going to go ahead and place our forearms onto the mat here. Come up onto the knees. Good. And get nice and strong into the forearms. We want our shoulders directly above our elbows here. Good. And then we're going to come into a forearm plank. Send the chest in between the shoulders. Walk your feet towards the elbows, coming into the plank. It's totally okay if your heels do not touch the ground. Just energetically send the chest in between the shoulders. Hips up towards the ceiling. Lift up to the kneecaps. 5 breaths. Walk your 5 breaths, walk the feet back, slowly bring your pelvic to the mat. And then inhale, come into Sphinx pose. Elbows right underneath the shoulders, hands forward. Top of the feet into the mat, and pressing your hands into the mat, scrub your chest forward. Hands underneath the armpits or the elbows here, or what are these? These are shoulders. Rotate the shoulders back, elbows are back. There we go. Inhale to cobra. Good. Exhale, release. 30 more times in the cobra. Inhale, rise, working over the spine. And hands are just assisting. So if you wanted to in your next cobra, you can rise and lift the finger pads off the mat. And maybe do it with your last ones as well. Hands underneath the shoulders here, curl the toes. Inhale into supported plank, onto the knees. Down the knees, downward facing dog, straighten the leg. Walk the knees out. Go ahead and walk to the front of the mat into Uttanasana, forward fold, where you can see your blocks here. Create that half lift with the blocks, figure 7. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to place the blocks to the outside of our feet. We're going to navigate the left knee back, coming into Anjaneyasana prep, bringing the left knee down, top of the left foot to the ground. So this is where a blanket may come in handy for some extra knee protection, and this is your choice. You can either stay in the Anjaneyasana prep where the knee is right above the ankle. If you want to go a little further here, we can come into an over lunge where we bring our foot towards the top of the mat, where we're not directly underneath, and this is a great prep for splits. Not going into splits today, just some preparatory pose if you would like. And feel free to navigate from Anjaneyasana for a few breaths and then working your way into over lunge. Keeping your chest lifted, hands into the blocks. And we want to find that isometric inside movement as if we are dragging our back leg towards the front of the mat. Our goal isn't to bring our hips to the ground. Our goal is to increase the range of movement into our hips so that naturally they'll move its way to the ground. So when we have that movement, when we drag our leg forward, we're creating more of that extension towards the spine. So then through the exhales, you will slowly start to feel your hips making their way towards the ground, while having that stability of your hips being in place. Not putting any stress into the low spine. 3 more breaths. After the 3 breaths, you can slowly bring the right hip crease back, toes pointed towards the ceiling, and half split. And you can either bring the blocks closer to your hips to keep your spine erect, or if you like to go through a hip hinge, you can take the blocks towards your foot, come to a hip hinge for an even deeper hamstring stretch. Nice, and the next breath, you find that bend back into the right knee. We're going to curl the left toes, lift the left knee, and then very gently bring the left leg to meet the right, and pedal out, bring a forward fold. And then once you're ready, inhale, half lift, block support. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go ahead and take the right leg back this time. With the right knee onto the ground. And again, it's your choice to either start with an Anjaneyasana, working your way towards over lunge, or if you want to stay in Anjaneyasana, that's your choice. If you wanted to stay in over lunge, that's your choice. Whatever feels the best for you today. And again, you want to have that spine neutral instead of overbent. It's the low lumbar. If we have that overbend into the lower spine, it's creating a weakness point for spine as well as we're not properly getting that opening or getting that stretch into the hips to create a proper flexibility. So what will help with that if you find a little bit of that core engagement through the chest, and almost like you're sending your lower core back into your spine. Having that asymmetric movement. 5 more breaths. After the 5 breaths, you can slowly start to take that left hip reach forward, or reverse it back to the room, I should say. And your choice would be either having the spine straight, maybe slightly hinged, or taking a deeper hinge. Moving the blocks to the appropriate spots. Wherever you find your comfort, go ahead and add 5 breaths. Just a 5 breaths, you can find that bend to the left knee again, but this time ankle and knee aligned. You can place your blocks on the top of the mat. You can curl the right toes up to the knee. This time, to bring the left leg back to point. Shift forward, chaturanga all the way to the mat. I'm going to take our body over to the left side, lift up our right arm, and then just roll ourselves onto our spine here. Okay, go ahead and center yourself. The last pose of the day is going to be the happy baby pose. So taking the hands onto your feet, knees in towards your armpits, and you can rock side to side, find some stillness. You can choose to keep the happy baby, or for 6 breaths, you can incorporate any stretches of your choice, your own playtime on the mat. Meaning, if you wanted an inverted staff pose, go right ahead. If you wanted a shoulder stand, go right ahead. Maybe bend all the way into a cloud pose. Whatever floats your boat. 6 breaths. Then after those 6 breaths, you can hug your knees in, rock side to side. And then for our Shavasana, you can stretch your arms all the way towards the top of the mat, toes towards the front. Taking a deep inhale in through the nose. And then exhale through the mouth. You spend the next few moments here. Enjoying your time in Shavasana. And as we're lying here in our Shavasana, I wanted to share a quote for today's practice by Maya Angelou. I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. So as we start to bring awareness back into our bodies, we start by creating micro movements from your toes, your ankles, fingers, and your wrists. allowing the energy of today's practice give you a new sense of self and understanding of your body, your mind, your spirit. So take a deep inhale, bringing the arms well overhead, toes to the front of the mat. Then very gently bend the knees into the chest, deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Very softly guide yourself to a comfortable seated position. And then for our final asana, the sun breath, bringing life back to our body. Inhale, bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. Palms together, exhale to the heart center. To give yourself this gratitude for making it onto the mat today, as well as gratitude for finding your neighbors physically and virtually, being able to share this space. To each and every one of you, wish peace and health for the rest of your night. And namaste. How's everyone feeling? Mm-hmm. Like a couple minutes. Like maybe, just a few minutes. Like we start. Did it just feel so good you didn't want to end?
I think we had a long day today.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up, people. Have a good night. Bye-bye.